18 WJTS News, I'm Charlotte Olson. A Ferdinand man who police say fell asleep behind the wheel of his mid-sized pickup early this morning and crashed into a Ferdinand home was airlifted to a regional hospital after he was badly injured as a result of the mishap. Not long after midnight, officers with the Ferdinand Police Department say that 36-year-old Sean Gentry of Ferdinand was southbound on Main Street when police say he ran off the roadway at the intersection of 18th Street. Police say that Gentry fell asleep behind the wheel, causing his pickup to strike a community center sign, a stop sign, and a street sign before hitting the home along the 1700 block of Main Street. Police say that Gentry suffered substantial trauma and he was taken by ambulance to Memorial Hospital in Jasper before being airlifted to St. Mary's Medical Center in Evansville. Police say that the residence suffered significant damages to its foundation and that its gas meter was struck, causing a gas leak. Authorities say that the accident forced the closure of Main Street for about 2 hours, while the scene was cleared and their investigation is still continuing. Ferdinand police were assisted at the scene by the Ferdinand Fire Department, Memorial Hospital Emergency Medical Services, and also Ohio Valley Gas. A traffic stop in Jasper on Monday afternoon ended with the arrest of a Crawford County man on a number of charges. Shortly before 3:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon, a deputy with the DuBois County Sheriff's Department pulled over an SUV driven by 39-year-old Chad Fry of Eckerty along US 231 near Division Road on Jasper's south side. He was pulled over for failing to signal and having a false fictitious registration. The Department K-9 unit was called to the scene and indicated the presence of narcotics within the SUV. A search of the vehicle found a small pipe that had the smell of burnt marijuana, as well as .38 caliber handgun. Another search of Fry himself led to the discovery of a small baggie containing a white crystalline substance in his right front pocket. Fry was taken to without incident and booked into the DuBois County Security Center in Jasper on a level 5 felony count of possession of methamphetamine and misdemeanor counts of possession of a handgun without a permit and possession of paraphernalia. A Huntingburg man was arrested late last night after threatening to blow up the county courthouse earlier in the day. Just before 11 last night, the Jasper Police Department received a report that earlier in the day, a man, later identified as 38-year-old Keith Merkley Jr., was observed on the front lawn of the DuBois County Courthouse acting aggressively. It was reported that Merkley also threatened to blow up the courthouse. After an investigation that led police to identify that he was also was observed driving a vehicle while suspended with a prior. Merkley was taken into custody and lodged into the DuBois County Security Center, where he is being held and charged on a level 6 felony count of intimidation and a Class A misdemeanor charge of driving while suspended. The Jasper Police Department was assisted by the DuBois County Sheriff's Department. Last night, the Jasper Utility Service Board heard a lengthy discussion involving the Trinity Crossing development and the city's involvement as far as providing gas services to this new addition. The board discussed at length the impact of providing service to the area, with a heavy focus on whether or not the city would recoup their cost if they provided the installation of an 1,800-foot line at an expense of $12,500. Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz and members of the Jasper City Council were on hand Monday night, and those who spoke on the matter expressed that the utility is a business and that they would not like to see another utility company come into the area and provide services to potential Jasper customers. Roger Sang, a board member since 2015, made a proposal that the city and developer, Kirstein's Homes and Designs, could share the cost of the gas line equally. However, that proposal was not approved by a board vote of 4-2 against, with 1 abstained. Board member Wayne Sheeter, after going back and forth on the issue, proposed that the city provide the gas service at the $12,500 price tag and that it would be a one-time occurrence and not set a precedence on future similar projects. The board approved the motion in a 6-1 vote. Mayor Seitz expressed how rare it is to find utilities competing for business, along with how the board has come together to serve citizens' needs, and also reiterated that the decision by the board will not set policy.
I want to say, make sure that people understand, we've never had anyone be predatory in their utilities. We didn't respond and we chose not to serve, and others were able to fill that in. My goal was to at least have some consideration given in times where there's potential competitive utilities, and it's really rare with gas in Indiana, that we at least could look at that. I'm not opposed to a pilot, one time, single time, not taking precedence, but at least at this moment we have an answer on the short term that will enable the development to go to recoup some costs from within that. And then we could look at the planning part and try to look at, do we have territories? I don't know.
Also, the board heard from Water and Gas Manager Tim Dorsum, who asked the board for approval over the cost of distributing 6,500 copies of mandatory water quality reports that is due to the public by July. Distributing the reports will be Gemini Group, a company that specializes in water systems compliance projects. Indiana is making progress towards its highways, byways, and bridges as the state dedicates much time and resources to its many projects this upcoming summer. And as it does so, it has allowed an opportunity for the public to stay informed. 2 open houses will be held this week, one in Evansville and one in Henderson, Kentucky, to introduce members of the community to the I-69 Ohio River Crossing project. The project is a modern Ohio River crossing between Evansville and Henderson, Kentucky. That meets today in interstate design standards and improves highway safety. The crossing would link together existing segments of I-69 and serve as a vital component to enhancing local and regional mobility in the tri-state area. The only existing Ohio River crossing is the area of US 41 and is inadequate to meet existing local traffic and future traffic demands under normal working conditions. Additionally, the US 41 bridges are more than 50 years old and will require significant modernization and rehabilitation to remain in service. A new I-69 Ohio River crossing will provide a modern bridge crossing that is built to federal interstate standards and is better equipped to handle current and future traffic volumes. Anyone who has an interest in the project is encouraged to attend, and the open houses will include an overview of the project, a discussion of broad alternatives identified to date, and a timeline for the I-69 project. In addition to sharing information with the public, the project team wants input from members of the community. Surveys and comment cards will be provided at each meeting. And make sure you keep it right here, because up next, we'll take a look at your weather summary.